All right. Piali, Kawali, Tonali, hello and good day. My name is Mija. I go by they or two-spirit as a pronoun. I am the public education lead for TransVisible Montana. Thanks for having us here today. I just want to remind folks that you can please silence your devices or notifications that might be distracting. I think I'll be with you all for about 30 minutes. I'm going to go through a few slides and then I hope to have some time for questions at the end. And with that, we'll just press on. So, who is TransVisible Montana? We are a statewide collective of transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit Montanans with support from local organizations and communities. We provide leadership development and visibility and public education through free and low-cost services to expand liberation for all. We developed in 2017 as a prevention for a passing of, I think it was Initiative 183, which was an anti-trans bathroom legislation that ended up not even making that to the floor. But we learned that creating visibility and showing our humanity as transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit people was more proactive and community building than last minute reacting to stop anti-transgender legislation. Um, which is an interesting scenario that we have now with this legislative session because that bathroom bill is now like sitting on the governor's desk. So there's a lot of anti-trans legislation happening right now. But we are led by a collective of community representatives, and community representative and orgs are diverse in what they do and who they are. And at TransVisible Montana, we prioritize and uplift positions of power for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color who are transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit. And we also provide public education and leadership development for people and orgs across the state. So just like we're meeting with Sheridan County Behavioral Health right now. But we typically do like workshops. We don't just talk about what we do. We like do the workshop. So we value lived experience, decentralized collective power, education for liberation, and anti-racism. These are our core values. And we define these values as lived experience being that we honor the journey of resilience and value the lived experiences of transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit people by platforming and actively listening to our diverse perspectives. And we hold space for the autonomy of the genderverse, and we celebrate trans joy. And education for liberation, that shows up by we promote liberation by providing opportunities for in-community members and would-be allies to cultivate leadership and solidarity. And our education is rooted in compassion, centers care, and creates affirming spaces. In terms of anti-racism, we offset historical and present settler colonialism upheld by white supremacy and other forms of systemic oppression by giving Black, Indigenous, and other people of color a weighted vote and through racial justice training in our internal and external community events. And decentralized collective power, we believe that each of us contains the knowledge, skills, and energy necessary for trans liberation, and we disrupt hierarchy and rely on each other to cultivate community and leadership among all of our members. Our offerings are that we offer workshops. Our most popular workshop is called Navigating the Genderverse. So that's kind of like talking about like why pronouns are important and like things like do's and don'ts in like working with or supporting transgender and non-binary and two-spirit folks. Then we have like a Two-Spirit 101, which is about uh, Indigenous LGBT folks. And then follow up to that is a gender and colonization workshop, which contains like an art piece. It's kind of like a 201. Um, yeah, and we also provide consultation. So for community organizations, businesses, schools, and workplaces. So we can like do a run through, like we can call ahead and be like, okay, I got misgendered over the phone and they don't even know my gender, right? Like that's like something you can change, or like walking through a process like at your clinic where like we like look at your forms and we're like, this isn't a very trans inclusive form, or you can adjust it this way to be more inclusive. So consultations. We also do education on like social media. So sometimes we post like educational uh, memes or articles, and sometimes we just post fun stuff because like that's a good offering too to have joy and funny things to share with each other. We also offer a name change liaison. So that's somebody that we have within our group who does a step-by-step guide through the process of name change process for IDs, for passports, for birth certificates. Um, and we do that all free of cost. So we also have an offering of leadership development. We have a leadership camp that's exclusively by and for transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit Montanans. So a lot of time camps are like LGBT camps, but then it ends up really being like more of the LGB and the T kind of gets left out. So this is a camp that's we only have transgender, non-binary, two-spirit people who attend, and all of our educators at leadership camp, all of our facilitators are also transgender, non-binary, or two-spirit, um, which is also unique because a lot of times people will bring people like outside people in to like teach about facilitation skills or teach about volunteer recruitment or all of these other things, but they won't actually be transgender, non-binary, or two-spirit themselves. So this is an opportunity for us to see like we can teach each other, right? Like we can seek out the teachers who are already doing that work. We don't need to like be like, there's nobody who can teach us how to do volunteer development that's not or that is transgender, non-binary, two-spirit, right? Like we know that we can find people, and so we seek people out who can do that um, as a very specific thing. Um, yeah, we also do skill development. So we do workshops and trainings, or we bring in workshops and trainings to our core group. To teach us better ways to facilitate, do volunteer coordination. Like I said, we also do social justice training within our core group so that we maintain that as an organization, we are doing good work internally and outwardly. Our other offering of visibility is that we attend statewide pride celebrations, we table, we do workshops. We're just physically out there. We do community events, we table events like Queer Prom, the Fab 5K, the Pearl Jam concert, pretty much anywhere anyone will have us. We will go and we will be there and be visible and offer information. We also have been um, at the legislative session this year. So contacting our representatives and sending information to our community. We've been testifying at the Capitol. Um, yeah, we've also been like talking to folks like who want to create a testimony, but they don't know like all the like how to talk about the things. So we like field the emails and like help folks like develop their language that they want to put in their testimony. Wow, is that a duplicate slide? That is really weird. Um, and that's pretty much what TransVisible does. I mean, we do a lot of like in between work, things that like are hard to just describe, like in terms of helping people out. We also offer like tech stipends and like help people buy computers and technology and things that they need in order to um, get jobs or be in the world. Yeah. Do folks have any questions for us? That's a really great question. How are we funded? Usually through grants and donations, individual donations. Yeah, sure. And I would say that I can tell that you're already doing what's like most important, which is like getting the pronouns right. because that's going to show like number one, the most support is just by like honoring them and respecting how they want to be referred. So you're doing a great job. Keep doing it. You can bring TransVisible in. We can do our Genderverse workshop is really helpful. There's a lot of information in that and how to be a better ally. Um, and I think that you mentioned like you don't want to talk about the things to like bring it up, but like not talking about the things can really actually make things worse. What you can do is say to your friend, like, there's some stuff I want to talk to you about, but it seems really hard. Are you willing to like have that conversation and see if they're willing to talk with you about
Right.
those? Yeah, there are some support groups like online where folks can like kind of navigate that. We have like links to um, resources that like can help answer questions for folks. And then also if you have that person or whoever email us and ask us whatever they want, we can connect them with um, whoever whoever has time and capacity to field their questions or to chat it out. Yep, they're available remote and in person. I am in Missoula. We're a statewide organization, though. No, but we can send somebody in Northeast, to Northeast Montana. We used to have a representative in Billings, and that's who we would have sent, but they have moved. So we are currently recruiting for the Eastern Montana area. But we're happy to send somebody that way too. We formed in about 2017 when we with that anti-trans bathroom bill legislation stuff was happening. So however many years that is, that's almost 10 years. Yep,
Your email.
transvisiblemontana.com. Montana.com. Sure, yeah. I mean, there are some asexual folks who are transgender, non-binary, and two-spirit, right? That's about sexuality, and being transgender is
Mhm.
about and I like gender and identity.